I'll finish this class and then I'll be proceeding to the seva. So please excuse me for the location, but rest assured, this will go uninterrupted. Hare Krishna. So we'll do the Mangalacharan and then we'll begin with the class. Om Jnanatimandasya Jnananjanashalakhya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadavaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinavadhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhresha Kripa Sindhu Behevacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Mukam Karoti Chantam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pataka Swamini Gaurakata Damada Nagragrama. So Hare Krishna to all. I hope my audio is clear to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yes, it is audible.
Okay. Are you all able to see the screen? See my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So today we are going to touch upon the summary of the concluding chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the chapter number 18, which is titled as the perfection of renunciation. Now, before we begin the chapter for today, anyone would like to give some pointers of the points that we discussed yesterday? It was quite an interesting topic that we covered yesterday. Anyone? Maybe another 2-3 minutes.
Faith on austerity,
Okay.
depending on three gunas: food, sacrifice, charity, and austerity, Prabhuji.
Very nice, Mataji. Anyone else would like to say, give some points?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam.
Pranam,
Prabhuji,
Mataji.
we also learned yesterday about food effects and its consciousness.
Okay. Yes, very much. Any other point? We also discussed about the charity. Anyone else would like to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Using the body to austerity, truthfulness, please the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Oh, very nice point. Yes, Mataji. So we discussed about the what kind of tapasya that we do, that is the austerity. Okay, what kind of yajna that is being done, what kind of faith we develop when we are in different types of mode, what type of food that we consume when we are in different types of mode, and what type of charity one does, and what is the the objective behind. So depending on what mode we are situated, we do that actions. So on a day-to-day lives, when we do these kind of actions, we have to immediately do the checkpoints. The action that I'm doing, in what mode I am. Am I doing the action because I'm situated in the mode of ignorance, or am I doing this action because I'm situated in the mode of passion, or in the mode of goodness? And based on that, and we have to see how repeatedly are we doing. Just not about the action, even the thought process, even the consciousness. Suppose if I desire to speak anything, yeah, even these words that I'm going to speak, is it going to be beneficial to others? Is it going to harm others? All this has to come into our mind. Yeah. And then based on that, we have to analyze and see how we can progress upwards. Why? Because, as I've been repeating for the past two classes, that the whole point of we taking birth in this human, and remember, this birth that we have got is very, very rare. Yeah. So out of many millions of birth, we have finally got this human birth. And this human birth, we should not, waste it. And we have a very short span of life. So within this short span of life, now that we have understood what Bhagavad Gita is all about, yeah, we have understood, even if we have not understood clearly, but now we have to take the first step. So the reason why we have taken this effort to bring you all the summarization of Bhagavad Gita is for you to know that what actually it contains. Yeah, the teachings will happen maybe in the subsequent sessions, but at least the summarization you will given, it just gives you a gist of what actually it is. At least the first step we have taken. Now we need to proceed with the next one. So with that note, let's begin the, the further chapters. The further verses. Now, the chapter number 18 happens to be the most longest chapter in the entire Bhagavad Gita. And this chapter is actually the summarization of the entire Bhagavad Gita. After chapter number 17, actually it concludes. Bhagavad Gita is concluded. But then, we also have to do the summarization. So it covers topic by topic from every chapter, and then it gives an entire summary of the entire teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. And then the last few slokas of this chapter is the most essence and most very, very important for us to understand. And this is and that happens during the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Does anyone know this conversation that took place? It took place in Kurukshetra. For how long this conversation took place? Does anyone have an idea of how much time it took?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, between Lord Krishna and Arjuna,
45 minutes.
46 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes. Just imagine just a conversation of 45 minutes and how much lifetime we take to understand, isn't it? So and don't think that, Arjuna was not aware of all this. Arjuna was actually representing each one of us. So he was representing us and then questioning and, putting forth all the questions in front of
Our doubts.
our doubts, yes, our doubts. And then Krishna was replying to all those doubts. In fact, this whole setting of this Mahabharata was only so that the Bhagavad Gita could have been spoken. Remember this. Okay. So the sloka start from 18.1 until there are 78 verses in this entire chapter, and this is the long. As I told you, it is the longest chapter. Yeah. Now, just to give you how we have condensed the summarization is by topic. So we have divided into various sections. So there are almost almost 6, 9, 11 sections which I've done. So between 18.1 to 18.12, this is where Arjuna is questioning. Yeah. So it's basically about the acting with detachment. So whatever action that we do, so it needs to be done with detachment. So that's what it talks about. So that when we do any action with a detachment purpose, which means, for example, if I'm serving anybody, if I'm not expecting anything back in return, that action is known as with the purpose with detachment. So that there is no reaction to that, and then it brings freedom from freedom from any reaction. And then between 13 and 18, this is the conclusion of Sankhya and Vedanta. This is slightly technical, but it talks about the Sankhya and the Vedanta philosophy, which means the actions directed by the super soul brings freedom from reaction. So which means any action that we do, which is prescribed as per the scripture, what we do as mentioned in scripture, so which means we are following the instruction of the Lord, then there is freedom from reaction. Now, why we say reaction? Does anyone know why I keep repeating this word reaction? Anyone?
Prabhuji, otherwise we have to come back in this material for all these karmas we did.
Yes, very nice point. For example, if I give 10 rupees to someone because I felt, this fellow is very poor, and it will give me satisfaction, and if I see him happy, I'll feel happy. So I give him 10 rupees. So which means what I've done, I've actually given him benefit, and because of my extending that help, he was happy. Now, this we don't know. Most likely, suppose this action has been done in the mode of passion. Why? Because I want to be happy, because I want to see that person happy. Now, even because he has received some help from me, now that we have already created that reaction, that karma is created now. Now, how will that person reciprocate now? Maybe in this life. If it is in this life, fine. If it is not in this life, maybe next life, or maybe life later on. Which means this 10 rupees that he has given, that I have given him, in some life, I have to take back the 10 rupees back. So for that, again, I have to take birth. Yeah. So that's why when it comes to charity, or when it comes to various other like faith, or be it yajna, be it austerity, one needs to be very, very, very careful. So the devotional process is absolutely very subtle. Yeah. So one needs to be very careful when we do those actions. That's the reason why we have to take the help of spiritual master, try to understand this philosophy, and try to understand how to lead this human form of life. So between 19 and 40, we talk about the entanglement of the three modes, how we get entangled by doing various activity, what kind of entanglement we undergo. Then between 41 and 48, worshipping the Lord through one's occupational work is true renunciation and brings freedom from reactions. So worshipping the Lord through one's occupational work, which means by any action that I'm doing. For example, let's say grahastha. Now, how do we put this in a proper perspective? Can anyone tell me? Worshipping the Lord through one's occupational work is true renunciation and brings freedom from reaction. Can someone tell me what it means?
By
Hare
doing
Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry,
Yeah.
we can offer the fruits of our actions to Lord Krishna.
Okay, very good point. Anyone else would like to say?
We do it with only as an offering to Krishna only. Whatever work we do, whatever service we do, or even if it's a job, it is as an offering to Krishna only, and with his name in mind.
Give practical example, Mataji. Like,
correct,
okay,
Prabhuji. By doing our occupational duty, we'll
Prabhuji?
get pain and pleasure, Prabhuji. By
Thank you.
doing that, we will get elevated to the Atma level, Prabhuji. We'll not think of this body level. We'll go next level. We'll come overcome from that, and we'll come to the soul level, Prabhuji. By doing occupational duty.
Prabhuji,
Okay.
may Prabhuji, we must do any work thinking of Lord Krishna. and without expectation of any fruity results from what we are doing.
Okay. Philosophy, yes. What you're saying is right. I'm saying, give a
Hare
practical
Krishna
example.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So we have kids na Prabhuji. So we bring them as children of Krishna, and given responsibility given by Lord Krishna Prabhu.
Okay.
And also while doing the job or for any earning career that we do as to maintain our body, which will help to do the devotional service, Prabhuji.
Okay. So to give you a practical example, for example, suppose I'm working or we are working. We are working between 9 to 5. We are going outside and doing our responsibility. Then we have a family. So when we are working, so obviously we are being compensated by giving some remuneration, isn't it? But at the same time, the working may not be that conducive for our devotional service, because maybe we are working in for some person. Maybe that person whom we are engaged, maybe he is doing some abominable activities. So obviously there will be some kind of reaction that we will undergo. Now, how do we purify all of this? Now, does that mean that, I leave everything? I'm already married, I have children. Does that mean that I leave my children, I abandon my marriage, then I go and sit in the jungle? Why? Because it is against the principles of the Bhagavad Gita? No. So how do we work around? That's why Krishna says very clearly here, worshipping the Lord through one's occupational work is true renunciation. And many times Prabhupada has said that grahastha who follows a proper devotional service, is his position is even higher than a sannyasi. Yeah, this is a point which I made on the first day also.
Yes.
Now, how do we do this? For example, whatever actions or whatever work we do, we keep Krishna in the center. Okay, for example, we wake up early in the morning, do our sadhana on time. Okay, after doing the sadhana, we are cooking prasadam at home, offering bhoga to the Lord, and then honoring that prasadam. So my consciousness is purified. Yeah, my thought process purified. Okay, what I'm eating is also Krishna prasad. So that is taken care. Then I'm going to the office. The moment I go to the office, I know I'm going to deal with many other people whom I don't even know. I don't even know what kind of reactions I'm going to, get back in return. So, but I do the work with sincerity, keeping in mind that whatever I'm working, today is my day. My day starts in the office at morning 9 o'clock. I'm going to be there at 6 o'clock. So this day, oh Krishna, please help me so that whatever work I'm doing it for your pleasure. Now, probably I'm doing some sales. I'm selling a product. How will that give pleasure to Krishna? No, it will give pleasure to Krishna because of whatever work I'm doing with sincerity. Yeah, I'm not cheating anyone. I'm not doing any abominable action. Then whatever remuneration is coming, with that remuneration, I'm supporting my family. First of all, I'm supporting myself. I'm also supporting my family. When I'm saying supporting myself, is I'm ensuring that I'm protect my devotional life is protected. One, I'm ensuring that my people who are dependent on me, their spiritual life is also protected. I'm enhancing their devotional service also. Then I'm also participating. I'm also associating with the people who are actually propagating the Bhagavad Gita, who are actually ensuring that the word of Lord is being spread out. So any prakara, we become part and parcel of the Lord's movement. So what we are doing is we are spreading out our life in such a way that we not only take full responsibility of our family, we are also acting fully responsible in the place where we are working. At the same time, we are also spreading the Krishna consciousness to others, to see to that even the other jivas get this opportunity. So with this thought process, with this consciousness, what happens is we protect our devotional life. See, Prabhupada always said that, especially the Grahastha life, it is like two parallel, the railway lines, they have two lines. So, and on that railway line, the train moves, isn't it? And these two railway lines represents one our material life, one our spiritual life, and it should be always parallel. Any one line going zigzag here, the train will get derailed. So similarly, our life should not get derailed. Our spiritual life and our material life has to go hand in hand in such a way that it does not clash with each other one, and it helps our devotional life in such a way. The material life should support our devotional life, but our actual objective is to progress in our spiritual life. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare So, Prabhu, you say that our responsibility is in such a way that family also becomes spiritually grown, right? But how do we, because if they are not willing, they are not ready to, they are uh, being, repulsive, or they are saying, no, we don't want, what then?
Yeah, you see, first of all, we should not force anyone, be it family members, be it friends, be it anyone that you know. Yeah, so it is all Krishna's plan. So we just pray the Lord that this is what my intention is. Please, please help, because we have certain limitations. Yeah. So beyond that limitation, we cannot go, go out of those circle and try to do that, and also at the same time harm our own spiritual life and our own mental peace. So that we should not do. So, but we try our level best. If you feel that the person whom you're trying to preach, you're trying to help them in their spiritual life, if you don't find them that what do you call forthcoming, and if you find them repulsive, so I think you should better avoid. But you can definitely try to stand as an example, meaning you see sometimes what happens when we try to preach someone, and if they don't get attracted, or we don't see any positivity, we get emotionally upset, and then we sometimes get angry. So that should not be the case. We should stand as a proper example for this particular movement, and also show that when I'm practicing myself, see the changes that I'm. So we should remain calm, and we should remain focused, and we should try to spread this positivity to others. So we should not get irritated, or we should not lose our temper, but try to stand as an example, so that at least by looking at our life, so they get more motivated. Clear, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Another question is that let's say we are in renunciation mode, means we are not going for pleasures of senses behind that and all other things. But at the same time, family people want, okay, let's go out for dinner, lunch, or let's go out, watch movie, or let's sit to do this. Then how to handle all these things?
See, depending on what situation is, I can give you a classic example of once a disciple went to Srila Prabhupada, and she told Srila Prabhupada that my husband is not at all supportive of whatever I'm doing. So how can you help? And I want my husband to become a devotee, but he's not at all cooperative. So the first instruction what Prabhupada gave that Mataji was, your primary duty is that you are his wife. So try to satisfy his uh, his needs first. Yeah. So that becomes your primary objective. So this decision is something which you have to take, Mataji. I will not be the right person to guide you on this, because I cannot. I wouldn't know what are the internal challenges that one will have, and the whole point is it should not spoil your relation with your children. It should not spoil your relation with your husband, or the husband should not have a bad relation with the wife. That's not the objective. The whole objective is, this is a philosophy that we have understood, and this is the teachings that Lord Krishna is giving. So we try to give this knowledge. If they are not accepting, fair enough, no problem. But at the same time, we should not also not run away and make other people uncomfortable because of our practice. This is what I can say, Mataji.
It is a big challenge, Prabhuji, but we have to maintain our own devotional services and
Yeah.
manage all the others' desires also. Plus follow our own Atma Uddhara. We have to do it so that by observing, at least the children will start following.
Absolutely.
The environment in the house itself will start changing, and that will also influence the husband also.
I can give you my own example, Mataji. I was never into Krishna consciousness. My wife came into this movement, and when she came into the movement, of course, I had all type of bad habits. You name it, I have all the bad habits. I used to have all the bad habits, and my children's were also not following. Yeah, but they were very small at that point in time. So, but my wife ensured that whatever she was practicing, that was because she knew it was very difficult for me to leave those bad habits. So, my wife ensured that she would never ever interfere in whatever I was doing. But I was so amazed by the practice what she was doing, because after she got into Krishna consciousness, she became quite calm. She became very understanding, meaning whatever I would say, she would agree with that. And then, in a very positive way, in a very calm manner, she used to tell me. And she would never ever tell me. In fact, I used to have a habit of listening to music while driving the car. And when she was sitting, she would sit and chant. And when I would see that she's sitting and chanting, I used to get irritated because that was actually coming in between my hearing the song, and I would ask her, why are you chanting now? I don't want you to chant because I want to hear the film music. And you know what she would do? She would immediately stop chanting so that I can listen to the music. But I could tell this once, twice, thrice, and finally I used to feel so bad. I said, then I stopped listening to the music. So whenever we would drive, then I would tell, okay, you finish your chanting, then I'll listen to the music. So those changes, it will happen, but it will happen gradually. But it all depends.
And that is the strength of chanting, Prabhuji. The more you chant, the more balanced you become, and the more positive things happen.
Absolutely. So this is all depending how you handle the situation. Now, I'll tell you, because of our behavioral changes, that transformed me, that transformed my children's. Now, I got initiated only, I would say she is my Shiksha Guru, to be very honest, because she came into the movement first. Looking at her, I followed, then my children's followed, and then, it's all going well. So it all depends. And this is not a one-stop, solution, because, and it is quite subjective, meaning every person will have different way of dealing with. Now, in my family, this is how it happened. Probably in others' family, it may not work like this. So it's quite subject. So it's not a stereotype, solution that we can give and it will work for everyone. No, it may not work. So it's quite personal, and it's quite subjective also. Hare Krishna.
But it will work, Prabhuji, when the lady of the house starts doing the constant chanting and devotional services. The whole environment around that family will change, and definitely it will have positive. This is what my Krishna says to me.
Yes, absolutely. You're right. 100% right, Mataji. So what we do is, whenever we approach, especially the part of our preaching idea is, we generally approach the housewives, or basically the women folks. And that is how, because when the woman of the house transforms, she will ensure that she transforms the whole house.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So that is our experience, and that has given us 100% results also, because the women folks are generally very, very, very serious, and if they take up something, they will see to that they will never ever leave that.
Yes.
So so as you rightly
They're
said,
the focal point of the family, and if each family, the woman changes, the whole society will change.
because she has control and influence over the children's, at the same time, she also have more influence on the husbands also. So it becomes very easy for the woman to convince the husband and to convince the children. Hare Krishna. Okay,
Hare Krishna.
so quickly moving so that we don't run out of time. So 56 and 60, 49 and 55 from Jnana Yoga to pure devotional service. Then 56 to 60 is working in pure devotional service. 61, 63, how to surrender to the super soul. And then finally, this is the most important, 64 and 66, the most confidential knowledge of all. Yeah, this is where Krishna says, the topic here says the most confidential knowledge here, which is very, very secret, but actually openly propagated, yeah, which is how to become a pure devotee of Krishna. Now, there's no difference between Krishna and God. So when we refer to God, that is Krishna. Then 67 to 71, preaching and studying the Bhagavad Gita. And 72 to 73, how Arjuna is firmly fixed, because all the conversation has got over. Yes, all his doubt has got clear, and now he's firmly fixed for him to do to go and fight the war. And then finally 74 and 78, what Sanjay is predicting. Okay, so we'll touch upon all this very quickly. So at a broad sense, this is how I have classified into broad 3 sections, which is basically renunciation, the duty, and surrender. So in topic of renunciation, Arjuna is questioning what is tyaga and sannyasa, and then Krishna is actually answering that sannyasa is nothing but renunciation of sense enjoyment. So renunciation doesn't mean that I quit my family, I quit my my responsibility, and quit the society and go and sit in the jungle and do tapasya. That is not actual renunciation. First of all, in Kali Yuga, that is not even recommended. So I have to do my renunciation of the sense enjoyment that I'm doing. Yeah, I have to renunciate all my bad habits. I have to renunciate all my bad thoughts. I have to renunciate whatever ill I'm thinking about others. I have to renunciate my ego. Yeah, and the main is sense enjoyment is the main cause of our spiritual downfall. Remember this. Yeah, so there are different types of senses. Yeah, we have eyes, we have ears, we have nose. The most important is the tongue. The tongue is the only activity. It does 2 things at the same time. It also, so whatever food that we take, it tastes that food, and then it also helps in speaking. So this senses does 2 different activity, and very dangerous also. So if the right thing is not fed, all nonsense will come out of this tongue. So if the right thing is fed, which is Krishna Prasad, the tongue is controlled. Yeah. And this tongue can be controlled, and this tongue then controls our eyes. This controls our ears, controls our so many other things. Yeah. So each of our senses we have to use so carefully. So it is described in Bhagavad Gita that how it depicts our various senses. These senses are like this, horses. Yeah. So the horse, right? So the horse there are some, say, five or 7 different horses, and then these horses are tied by the leash. Yeah. So if they need to be controlled. If the horses are not controlled by the leash, what happens? It will misdirect you. It will go haywire. And just imagine all different horses going in different direction. What will happen? We will fall. So similarly, we have different senses, yeah, which is our eyes. So if we don't control our eyes, it will start seeing all nonsensical things. If we don't control our ear, we'll start hearing, which is not required for spiritual life. We'll start hearing all nonsense things. Yeah, the smelling, yeah, the senses of sensory. We have to do it in the right way. Yeah, and then there are various other senses in our body. So how do we control this? By eating Krishna Prasad, by associating with the devotees, by by reading the scripture, by taking shelter of the like-minded devotees, yeah, and then accepting a spiritual master, and then the spiritual master guides us that what is right and what is wrong, and then he will instruct us that who is Krishna, who is the Supreme Lord, and what we have to do for our spiritual progress. The next is a tyaga, which means giving up the results and not duty. Very clearly it's mentioned, not duty. Our duty should not be renunciated. We have to fulfill our duty, which is prime. Yeah. But at the same time, don't expect anything back in return. Yeah. Give up the results to Krishna. Let Krishna decide. Then knowledge of action, determination in 3 different modes. Then what type of happiness we gain in 3 different modes. But also it says never give up charity, never give up sacrifice and austerity. Then within the duty, it says duty according to different varnas, which is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas and Shudra. Then one attains perfection by doing one's own duty as an offering to the Lord. Yeah. Then only by bhakti Krishna can be revealed. So if you want to know what, first of all, very difficult to understand Krishna. Even Lord Brahma tried to understand who is Krishna. Then we all know the Brahma Vimohan Leela. What happened? Even with Brahma 4 heads, he was confused. He couldn't understand the actions what Krishna was doing. That finally he had to surrender. So what to talk about us? We have just 1 head, and first of all, forget about Krishna. We don't even know about ourselves. We don't even know how this body functions. What to talk about how Krishna is controlling the world. So we cannot understand, but by practicing bhakti, by doing bhakti, Krishna will start revealing his wonders to us. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart and directing the wandering just like a driver on the seat. Yeah. Because the Lord is situated in our heart. So how many of you all have experienced whenever we try to do something wrong, but there is an alert that is coming from within our mind? Do we have that experience?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, always.
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
So just remember that action, that alert is coming
Exactly,
from
Lord Krishna.
yeah, that alert is actually coming from the Supreme Lord. It will only direct you once, but the choice is yours. Remember this. He will not interfere in the choice. For example, if a milk is kept and a glass of milk and a glass of wine is kept. Now, before I pick up the glass of wine, there will be something which comes within my mind or my thought, oh, this is not good for my body. But despite that, I will go again and pick up the glass of wine. Yeah. Now, for example, alert was already given to you saying that that's not wet. Despite that, we pick up that glass and drink. Obviously, there will be a reaction. But at the same time, if I would have picked up that glass of milk, actually it would have nourished my body. But the glass of wine is not going to nourish my body. It is going to contaminate my consciousness. But the choice is that Krishna gives you that choice. Krishna never ever interferes in our choice. Choice we make. Yeah. He will never because if the moment he interferes in our independence, then there will be no reciprocation of love. That natural love will not be, and Krishna wants our natural love. Okay, coming to surrender. So, who should receive the Gita? One who is not envious of Krishna. Because we were envious of Krishna, that's why we came into this material world. Then what is the greatest service? One who explains this knowledge is the most dearest to Krishna. So when we talk about the Lord to others, yeah, so Krishna gives special mercy, special, he's always pleased. Then how do we study the Gita? But it's okay. Study of Gita is equal to direct worship. One who studies this conversation is doing worship by his intelligence. I think there's some grammatical mistake. Then Arjuna's realization is basically his illusion gets dissipated. Yeah, because he had so much of confusion. So in the first chapter, so he says Karpan. So finally, when he was told that he has to kill his family members, so he started trembling. He started shivering. He put down his bow. He was not understanding what is to be done. He was so confused. And then finally, when he was not, and He even told Krishna that, I don't want to fight. It's better that I go out, go in the jungle and, start begging. I will prefer that rather than to fight my own people. And then Krishna, told him several things. Then finally he said, okay, Krishna, karpanya dosho prahat swabhava prachami tvam dharma samura cheta. Yeah. So he spoke this shloka. He said, okay, now that, I don't know what needs to be done. My hands are trembling. Yeah, I have given up everything. Now I'm accepting you as my spiritual master. You please guide me. Yeah, I am your disciple. And then final conclusion is, wherever Krishna is present and Arjuna, victory is always guaranteed. So this we'll also touch upon as we go on. Okay, so this is just a small depiction of this whole 18th chapter. So if you understand this particular graphic that you have seen, so you will get a good idea of the philosophy that we are going to speak. So on the left hand side, we see the wrong actions. The wrong actions are nothing but the irreligious actions. And on the right hand side, we see the right actions, which are actually religious. Yeah. And now on the top, the heading, it shows that these 5 causes cooperatively, actually not 5, it's actually 4. This causes cooperatively perform every actions. So remember, the primary reason of our actions are these 3, which is our body, second is our mind, and third is our speech. So if I have to ask you one question, like, can you give me an example of what kind of actions can determine a kind of a reaction based on our body, mind, and speech? Anyone?
Hare Krishna, could you please repeat the question, Prabhuji?
Yeah, my question is, based on this 3, mind, speech, and body, what kind of actions, what kind of reactions we can undergo? What kind of reactions do we face based on the actions at the level of mind, at the level of speech, and at the level of body?
Prabhu, as what I've understood your questions, I like for mind level, we usually think bad or react if we don't like something from somebody, we might react to it thinking, oh, this is so bad, or having bad negative thoughts about them.
Very
In
nice. Very good.
mind,
Very
which is when we talk bad for somebody or even ourselves. Some people do that for themselves also if they talk negative, speech and mind also. Body
correct.
engaged in wrongdoings, bodily also, with hands, with whatever. If we are doing some wrong kind of action, is also some
Yes.
kind of action.
Prabhuji,
Very good.
Vaishnava Prada also, Vaishnava Prada we can do by all 3.
Absolutely. You're so 100% right. Yeah, Mataji, you're absolutely right. So this determines our reaction. So basically what happens, uh, not necessarily that all actions we do with our body, even with our speech, probably we will say something bad about someone, or we might do a backbiting about someone that will also harm other person. Yeah, because of our speech, whatever we have said, it has harmed him. So obviously there will be a reaction. And with the mind, that is our thought process, we are thinking something bad about that person. So what happens, because we are thinking something bad about the person, so obviously we will also start speaking. And then the next level is, we might even start reacting with our physically also. Yeah. If you see a fight generally on the roadside, or especially in Bombay and all, there is always fight in the train. So they will not start with hand first. They will start with their eyes. They'll start looking at that person in a very bad way. And that eyes will turn into speech. Then he'll say, why are you looking? He'll say, I'm looking, what is your problem? And then that speech will go to next level. They'll start hitting each other. So that is physical harm. Yeah. So it starts with it will trigger with something, then it will end up with something. Then ultimately, see, if I'm going to slap someone, there can be an instant karma or can be a delayed karma. What is instant karma? I'm giving one slap, that fellow will return with 2 slaps. That is instant karma. And what is delayed karma? Maybe after he has noted me, he knows what I am, he knows my background. So after 5-7 days, he will bring some 5-10 people and bash me. That is the delayed karma. Now the extreme delayed karma may not be this life, maybe next life. That because I have hit that person, so obviously I have to take that hit back. Maybe not in this, maybe next life. So these are the various actions that happens. Yeah. Now here it says the place of action is nothing but the body. Then senses are nothing but the instruments of action. Then the soul, he is a doer, but actually the super soul. All activities depend on his will and sanction. So any action that we do is based on his will and action. And then of course the place of action that we just mentioned. To give a brief of this entire chapter 18, so it's as I mentioned, the chapter 18 is a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. The ultimate goal of this chapter, or to understand of the human form of life, is devotional service. We also understand the most confidential path of knowledge, which is moksha upadesha yoga. Yeah, this is not the normal physical yoga that we perform. What is the real meaning of yoga? Can someone tell me?
The union between the Atma and Paramatma.
Lord.
Yes.
Control over senses, Prabhuji.
No.
Uniting the mind with Lord Krishna.
Absolutely. Yes. That's what actual yoga means. Yoga means connect. Yoga means connection. So what connection between the soul and the super soul? So purpose of life is indicated to be renunciation and transcending the 3 modes of nature. Now, Arjuna wanted clarification of the 2 distinct subject matters of Bhagavad Gita, namely the Tyaga and the Sannyasa. Okay. Then Krishna is addressed as Rishikesha and Keshi Sudana. Yeah. So Krishna is addressed as Rishikesha and Kesha Sudana. Then Rishikesha is the master of all senses who can always help in attaining mental serenity. Then Arjuna requests him to summarize everything in such a way that he can remain equipoised, balanced. And Arjuna also addressed Krishna as Keshi Sudana, which is Keshi was the most formidable demon killed by the Lord. So Arjuna is expecting Krishna to kill the demon of doubt within him. So we always have doubt. So there is not a day that passes that we don't have a doubt in our life. So we always have some of the other doubt. And that doubt basically, for example, is Krishna really God? Are we doing this Krishna conscious? Will it give any benefit? So once a person approached Srila Prabhupada and told Srila Prabhupada that, Swamiji, after if you have done so many things, yeah, then when you realize that there is no Krishna, what will you do? What will be your reaction? So Srila Prabhupada laughed, smiled actually. And he said, okay, no problem. If at the end of my life, if I realize that there is no Krishna, still, it was not a waste of time because we had a good time. We were enjoying. Yeah, we danced and we ate such a nice food. Yeah, we all spent very nice time. No problem. And then Srila Prabhupada asked a question. But I have a question to you. At the end of your life, suppose you realize that Krishna is there, then what you will do? So this kind of doubts we will always have. So to kill that doubt, yeah, is where the knowledge comes. So when we have the knowledge, the doubts get dissipated automatically. Okay, I will try to cover the verse as early as possible. We have another 15 minutes only, 15 minutes. We'll try to cover. So as I was mentioning, this particular verse, which is 18 to 12. So this gives a detailed analysis of what are the question that Arjuna was asking regarding the Tyaga and the Sannyasa. Yeah. So which is talking about the renounce order of life. Okay, then the Krishna is actually replying that giving up the activity. So what basically Arjuna is asking, what is Tyaga? So Krishna is replying that the giving up of activity that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounce order of life. Then acts of sacrifice, which is the fifth verse, acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not given up. They must be performed. Okay. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. So this act should never be given up. We don't say renunciation. We should never renunciate doing sacrifice. We should never renunciate giving charity. We should never renunciate doing penance. So if you are giving up that, then that is not an actual tyaga. Then what are the prescribed duties? So prescribed duties should never be renounced. So whatever our responsibility, yeah, our responsibility in terms of a grahastha life, in terms of a sannyasa, yeah, and different varnas what we have. So that those actions should never be renounced. And Krishna says that if one gives up his prescribed duty because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. So sometimes, we feel, oh, this job is so painful, 9 to 5. I'm working like a donkey. So let me sit at home and relax. Okay. Let my wife go and work, and she will take care of the family. Okay. Then I'll sit and enjoy, watch nice serials right from morning till night, all web series. So that is all in the mode of ignorance. No. If we have been given certain responsibility, we have to fulfill that our spiritual life. And it says, for one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. Yeah, very, very important. So first of all, we should know what is renounced. Renounce does not mean that we run away from the responsibility. We renounce our bad habits. Yeah? We renounce our bad knowledge. Yeah? And then we perform the right actions as per the scripture. If you don't do that, then the three folds of misery, which is the mode of ignorance, mode of goodness, mode of passion, all that will take over. All of those modes will start determining our actions, and they will force us to do some kind of actions, and then finally it will accrue after death. Okay. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. So those who have already are on the renounced order, yeah, for them, they don't have to worry about any result to suffer or enjoy. So I've just given a brief of the comparison of knowledge, action, worker, understanding, determination, and happiness. And this is between goodness, passion, and ignorance. So it's quite understandable. I'll just go through it quickly. So if you have to compare between goodness, passion, and ignorance in terms of knowledge, so if we have knowledge and goodness, so what happens is we see undivided spirit in all beings. So be it a dog, be it any animal, or be it a human being, we see them equally. We don't see any difference between them. Why? Because there is a soul and there is a super soul residing. This soul has got a body of a dog because of his previous karma. Okay, I have got this body of a human being because of my previous karma. So when I see the other living entity as a living entity, I will not cause any harm. So people, there are certain section of people who say they are the animal protectors, and then they all join together in a dinner, eating nice chicken, and then they say, no, this dog should not be harmed. Why do you have love only for dog? No, but you're on your plate, what you're eating, you're consuming a living entity, isn't it? Or you're consuming a cow, a beef. And then we are talking about protecting the other living entities. That is not correct now. And if someone is in the mode of passion, they will see different being in each body. They'll say, okay, you're different. The dog's life life is different. Yes, of course, based on the physical characters that the body that he has received, he'll behave accordingly. But remember this, he's undergoing some suffering because of his previous karma. He's suffering in that body. But the person who is in the mode of passion, he will not see that. And in the person who is in the mode of ignorance, he has absolutely no knowledge. So he will first of all, doesn't know to discriminate between a soul and the body. He doesn't have that knowledge at all. Then action. That actions of a person who is in the mode of goodness will be always regulated. There won't be any attachment. There will be no love and there will be no hate. Always equipoised. And then obviously there is no desire of fruits. And the person who is in the mode of passion will always do great endeavor. And he does that endeavor only to satisfy the senses and always out of false ego. And the person who is in ignorance, what happens? He performs in illusion, disregards scripture. He never considers scripture as the proof of authority. Then no concerns for entanglement. He doesn't know entanglement. He thinks that I have got this body to enjoy. I have this life. I don't know about the next life. Let me sit and enjoy. That is in mode of ignorance. Then worker. No association with the modes. Yeah. Always without ego, always with enthusiasm, equipoised in success or failure. So whatever work that he does, yeah, he will always do it with enthusiasm. He is not worried whether by doing this work, am I going to succeed? Am I going to be a successful person? Or is this will be a failure? He does it so that he has to do that duty, but with full sincerity. The person who is in passion, he is always attached to the fruit of that result. And then he desires to enjoy. He is very greedy, envious, and always impure. Then the person who is in ignorance, materialistic, obstinate, always cheating. And he is expert in insulting. He's always lazy, morose, and procrastinating. Yeah, always delaying things. Then what is the understanding of that person who is in mode of goodness? Knows what is to be done and what is not to be done. Then what is to be feared and not. What is binding and what is not. Person in passion cannot tell what is religion and what is irreligion. Okay? Or what is to be done and what is not to be done. Then the person in ignorance, religion is irreligion. Yeah, and irreligion becomes his religion also. And always in darkness, always striving in wrong directions. Always actually misguided, basically you can say. And determination of a person in goodness is always unbreakable. He has full determination. First of all, he is dependent on God. Yeah, he has full faith. So he's determined. He knows the action that he's doing is correct as per the scripture. And he has full faith. And then sustain with steadfastness. Yeah, always positive and always very, very thorough. Then his mind is always controlled and his life is also controlled. His senses also controlled. Person in passion holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification. The main objective of the person in passion is always economic development. Kitna milega, how much he will get in return. Then ignorance will be can't go beyond dreaming. Always dreaming only, always remain in dream. He will think, okay, one day I'll become a big man, we'll enjoy life. That's it. Stop that dreaming, but no actions. Okay, for the happiness part, the person who is in mode of goodness, it will be poison in the beginning because you have to renunciate your bad habits, control on the senses. Obviously, it will be poison in the beginning, but nectar in the end. And because of that, there is an awakening to self-realization. For the person who is in mode of passion, it is always nectar at first, poison at the end. And person who is in ignorance, blind to self-realization and delusion from beginning to end. So this particular chapter, between 41 and 48, there are four kinds of ashramas. 4 kinds of ashramas, which is explained. So we have already touched upon the previous section there. And then this is from 56 to 60. Again, in the last slide that we just spoke, this section is already we have spoke about that. And this is the final concluding verses between 61 and 63. Okay, now this is where Krishna is concluding. Krishna is saying to Arjuna, okay, which is 18.63. He says, thus I have explained to you knowledge, still more confidential. Okay. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. Very, very important. 18.63. Okay. So in 18.63, Krishna says, just try to open the sloka. Just give me a minute. 63. Yes. So 63, Krishna says, Iti te jnanam akyatam guyat guyat taram maya vimrishityat asesena ete chasi tata kuru. Okay. So which means Krishna is saying that now that I explained you everything in terms of knowledge, in terms of philosophy, in terms of what you have to do, in terms of what you should not do, I've explained to you everything. Now, I hope everything is clear to you now. Now you do what you want to do. Or he says, oh, now do what you wish to do, which means Krishna is giving you a choice. Krishna had asked Arjuna to fight, and then he gives a lot of justifications. Krishna gives so many reasons that why he has to fight. And then giving everything, explaining everything, finally Krishna says, okay, now that I've explained you, now do what you wish to do. Krishna does not interfere. Krishna does not enforce. After this, Krishna is not enforcing. Krishna is telling you, okay, you do. I have explained you everything. So similarly, we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. After reading, after understanding, now it is up to us whether we have to implement this in our life or we should not implement. After reading, we will know that if we read this and it implements in our life, what kind of positive changes it will bring into our life. And if we don't implement, we also know the result of it. So Krishna will not interfere. Yeah. But if we are actually serious about our spiritual life, then we have to implement these particular teachings, yeah, the instruction into our day-to-day life. And before we conclude, this is very, very important shloka that I wanted to cover up. This is 64 and 66. Okay, so Krishna says in the 65th verse, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Krishna is saying, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you, because you are my very dear friend. So if you have to become dear friend, what are the things that we have to do? Yeah. So once we follow what Krishna is instructing, we automatically become his friend. And then what we have to do is, Krishna is saying, always think of me. Bhajatam priti purvakam, dadami buddhi yogatam, enamam upayantate. Yeah. And Krishna says, always think of me, become my devotee. Yeah. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. He says that then the path will be clear to approach him. So we have to always think of him. What stops us in thinking about him? 24/7. Yeah, out of 24 hours, say 8 hours we are sleeping. Still we have so many hours left, no? So those hours we can, in our mind, we can keep thinking about him. Nothing stops us. We don't have to open book, read, no. We have the mind, we have the thoughts, so we can think about Krishna's Leela in between. We can think about just remember, even seeing the name of the words of Krishna itself is thinking about Krishna. Yeah. Krishna says one of the sloka in the 15th chapter that I am the taste of water. So when we are drinking the water, it should actually remind us that Krishna is saying that I am the taste of water. So even when we drink the water, we can remember Krishna. And then the most important shloka is the 66. Krishna is saying, Sarva dharmam paritaje, mamekam sharanam vraja, aham tvam sarva papebhyo, mokshishami mam suchaha. Krishna is saying, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So what Krishna is saying here, now in summarizing Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that Arjuna should give up all processes that have been explained to him. Yeah, he should simply surrender to Krishna. No, what do you mean by all processes? Because in the early chapter he talked about jnana, this and that. Then finally he said, no, bhakti yoga is supreme. Just focus on bhakti yoga, and then you'll be able to come to me. So abandon whatever wrong practices that we have been following. Stop that practice and just surrender unto me. Krishna is giving guarantee that when you surrender to me, I will protect you. I will take care of you. That's what he says, no? Mam Suchaha. Krishna is saying, do not fear. And I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. So any sinful reactions that was there from a previous birth, Krishna will ensure that everything is eradicated. He is telling in the Bhagavad Gita. Verse number is given. He is giving full guarantee. And then here it said, the particular words used here, Ma Suchaha, do not fear, don't hesitate, don't worry. Krishna is saying that. Who says such words? Don't hesitate, don't worry. Yeah? Especially this word generally comes from a father or from our mother, isn't it? Those who are very close to us, or maybe from our wife or from our husbands, right? So those who are very close to us, they say, do not fear, I'm there for you. Don't worry, I'm there for you. Here Krishna says, do not fear, I am there for you. So it says they are very significant. One may be perplexed as to know how one can give up all kind of religious forms and simply surrender unto Krishna, but such worry is useless. The moment we focus on the Lord, when we give up 100% to the Lord, surrendered fully to Him, then we should not worry. We can remain fully focused on the Lord and then be fearless. Now, two more shlokas I will touch upon and then we'll conclude. Yeah. Now, Krishna is asking Arjuna that, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? Krishna is asking Arjuna, whatever I have spoken to you, did you hear it with your attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusion now dispelled? So are you fully now, those confusions are gone? I think that your full confusion is gone. This is what Krishna is asking Arjuna, and the Lord is saying, and so basically here the Lord was acting as a spiritual master of Arjuna. Therefore, it was his duty to inquire from Arjuna whether he understood the whole Bhagavad Gita in its proper perspective. Very, very important. So sometimes we explain something, we have to ensure that the person who is listening, he has understood. Yeah. And Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, oh, in fact, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instructions. See, Arjuna is now very firm, very clear. So now that he has understood, now he's saying, I'm now free from all doubt. I am ready to act as per your instruction. And then finally, the concluding shlokas. Yeah. Now, Sanjay is saying, thus I have heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on the end. Yeah. Like he was getting goosebumps. Then the final shloka, Sanjay is saying, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shirir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. So it says, wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certain be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Hare Krishna. So finally, I'll conclude this. I don't know if you have time to take up some questions. I will leave it to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we thank for your giving your precious time from your busy schedule and other commitments. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful session.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So the whole idea of conducting this the summarization of Bhagavad Gita, and today we have concluded Bhagavad Gita summary, so that you get a gist of what contains in Bhagavad Gita, and then try to take up small steps. Yeah, try to start reading the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Try to understand. Approach some devotees. Try to question what is written in Bhagavad Gita, and try to understand, and then start taking many steps and transform your lives. That's what I can say. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
So,
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna. Thank
Krishna.
you,
devotees, please
Prabhuji.
unmute and sing 3 times Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Mahamantra for
Prabhu. Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Vanchakataro Vaishya Kripa Sindhu Vaisha Patitanam
Pavanaha
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavedyo
Vaishnavaya
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo Namaha.
Anantakoti
Anantakoti Vaishnava
Vaishnava Jai Shri
Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you,
Hare
devotees, for joining the session.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.